yes, please come in. I'll be with you in just a moment. Okay. Hello there. My name's Dr. Pimple Popper. I'll be your doctor today. How may I help you? You heard of me online, have you? Wonderful. That's wonderful. We welcome all new patients. Well, to give you, since I know that you're new here, I'll give you a bit of an introduction. So, like I said, my name's Dr. Pimple Popper, and I will be your doctor. Today, I am mostly going to be explaining to you just some of the options in terms of surgeries that we do. We do plenty of surgeries here, but we specialise in gender-affirming surgeries. Now, I need to be very specific about what that means, because a lot of people that come in here, they don't really understand what gender-affirming surgeries are. So first of all, gender-affirming surgeries are for everybody. Now, there are a lot of trans people that use them and need them, but plenty of people, whether they're trans or not, use gender-affirming surgeries to feel more comfortable in their bodies. Think of your BBLs, think of breast enhancements or reductions, think of hair, like a hair transplant, any of those things that perhaps make you feel more within your gender. Any surgeries that, or just procedures that, enhance the jaw to make you more masculine, or perhaps enhance your figure, make you look more feminine, whatever it is. If it makes you feel more within the gender that you identify with, then that is a gender-affirming surgery. Now, I mainly say this because you have a lot of people, in the current climate, in the current world, who are trying to get rid of gender-affirming care. And I think that would surely include all of these, other procedures that plenty of other people get, and they don't really realise that. So, with that, I presume that you're here for specific kinds of gender-affirming surgery, yes? Yes, okay, well, while I understand that you are looking for specific kinds, I will go over all of the options. It's just standard practice here, because if you have any friends, if you have any colleagues, any enemies, rivals, who might want this kind of care, just knowing what I have to offer would be very helpful. So I'm just going to go over everything, okay? Wonderful. Okay, well, with that, let's go ahead and discuss just some general basics, yes? Okay, so I'm going to need your name. Excuse me. There we go. Your name? Okay. Wonderful name. Your age? Okay. Can I get your address? Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, you do not have to answer, but do you suffer from any form of dysphoria? That this does not have any relevance to whether you are allowed to get any of these procedures. Okay. What about the more common dysmorphia? Okay. And now, could you tell me your favourite trans icon? Yes, I think it's pretty important. And what is your favourite genre of music? Just so that when we're in the procedure, within the operating room, I can put on some of that. I find that less patients die if I have their favourite music playing. Oh, well, yes, some patients die. I'm not a miracle worker, and I'm not God himself, so, sometimes it happens. It's not very often, I'll say. And, I'm not, I wasn't the best within my medical class, let's just say that. Alrighty. So, let us go ahead then. That's all the basics that I need. Unless there's anything you need. Oh no, I don't need to know whether you have any allergies or anything like that. No. We'll figure that out later. That's fine. Okay, so next we're going to go over some of your general health checkups. This is just to ensure that you are, within working order, to ensure that we are able to move move through and do all of the procedures, and you can actually handle some of these procedures, right? So let's go ahead then and start with your heart. A faulty heart means it's going to be a little bit difficult to do any of these. So I'm going to go ahead here and do this. So if you could please just, no need to take off your shirt. No. Put it back on. I do not need to see that. Not yet. No. What I just need is just stay still. I'm going to put this on your chest, and I just need you to breathe in and breathe out. There's no need for you to get uncomfortable for me, okay? All right, so just breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now over here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, interesting. I do hear something, but it's nothing major. If you could turn around for me, I'll just check on the back here. Sometimes it can be a bit easier. So, yes, go ahead and I'll just listen. Breathe out. Okay, yeah, you're perfectly fine. No need to worry, no. You're totally fine. Okay. Next, just go ahead and just very quickly open your mouth. Say, ah. Ah. Okay. All good there. Did you get your tonsils removed? Okay. Oh, either that or they just disappeared, so, hopefully. Okay, I will take your temperature here. I think it's pretty important. So again, just under the tongue here. Just going to put it right in. There we go. I'm just going to... Okay. Well done. Fairly good. Okay, and then next, are you caught up with the latest vaccines? Are you sure? You could have. I have some right here available for you if you need it. Okay. Well, if you don't need it, that's fine. All right, and the last thing I need to do is I just need to make sure that you have the proper reflexes. So if you could simply give me your arm, I'm just going to go ahead and do a few taps here. Okay, perfect. And then give me your other arm. Very good. All good. All right. Well, you have perfectly good vitals. Everything is in order. So let me just check. Oh, I forgot here. I need to check your face. Let's do that. If we're going to do any procedures on the face, I need to make sure to check your face. So let's go ahead here and just stay still for me while I do a quick inspection here. Check your forehead, your eyes here. I'm going to just touch. Some colleagues of mine would say that I'm palpating your orbital rim, but I say that's a weird way to put it. Okay, and then your cheeks, and your lips, your nose. Do you have any cartilage in your nose? Okay, perfect. I have had some patients in the past that did not have some cartilage. Made it a bit difficult, I'll be honest. And then your jaw. Do you suffer from lockjaw sometimes? Okay, perfect. Alrighty, and then your hair looks pretty good. That's something that I just wanted to double check here. Okay. And lastly, okay, here we're going to get a bit uncomfortable. So if you want some form of procedures done within your genital area, I'm going to need to inspect very, very quickly. But if you do not want, then that is, you're totally fine. You're a bit interested in that. Okay, well, if you don't mind, I'll just do a quick look. Okay, let me see. How cute. Okay, I'm not going to touch. No, just a little observation here. Great, wonderful. Okay, I see nothing wrong. No pain or anything. No. Okay, wonderful. Okay. Alrighty, so I've checked everything. It's time to get on to our options then, yes? Okay. So we've got a few options here for you. And we're going to start with the chest. The chest seems to be the most common first step amongst a lot of people, aside from, taking some form of a hormone therapy of some kind. So, and that's, of course, if you're trans. If you're not, then that is another case. Well, sometimes it really depends, actually. But in terms of procedures, let's talk about the chest area first, right? So in terms of your breasts, we do offer breast reduction and breast enhancement. Yes, if you want to just reduce the size but keep the breasts, or if you want to increase the size in any capacity, we are totally fine to do that. You'll have very minimal scarring, and you're a very, very good candidate. We could also just simply remove it. It's particularly simple, really, and we have a few ways of doing it, to be honest. The old way of doing it, where we cut underneath, take out a lot of the fat, and we have to sort of remove the nipple and whatnot. That is, it's sort of the old way of doing it, and it does create a lot of scarring. And from what I understand, a lot of transmasc people tend to find a lot of maybe not comfort, but pride within the scarring, yes? So if you want to go with that route, that is totally an option, but we do have better options available. We have options where you'll get smaller scarring towards the sides, like over here and over here. And what that would do is we'd be able to take out a lot of the fat just from there, and you wouldn't actually have any of that scarring. But of course, this might not apply to you, and instead, if you would like to discuss more of the pec options, yes, if you want to add breasts on, that is I wouldn't say it's much more complicated, but I would say that it is, you'll have to go through the options of, we have more natural material that we can place inside. That we also have silicone if you'd like. Movement is common, but not so much so that it's really a problem, right? And really, it's only really an option for you if you're not happy with the ones that you have, yes? Because if you, so you didn't have any, say you were born a different gender, and then you decided to take some hormone replacement therapy, and you end up having you end up developing breasts, you might find that it's not to your liking, then breast enhancement would be for you. We also, of course, talk about pecs here. So say, for example, you've already had the procedure, and you have, whether you've had the procedure, you don't really have pecs of any kind, but you want to feel a little bit more masculine, yes? Perhaps you want to seem more muscular even, not necessarily masculine. What we can do is we can add silicone to shape the pec to look more like muscle, yes? Now, it won't act like muscle, you won't be strong necessarily, but it will look good, and you'll be able to fake it very well. So, and of course, if, say, you have too much pec, we can also remove that. It's a bit of a procedure, but it's really not that bad. Now, of course, we do have for sort of a more androgynous look, or perhaps even a look where you don't want to allude to reproduction, or even anything at all. Or what we can do is we can remove the nipples. What that will do would just be create a nice smooth skin surface for you, replace the nipple with the skin surface, and what would then happen is you would be a lot like sort of a Barbie or a Ken doll. You can still have breasts, you can still have pecs, whatever you want, but the nipple would be gone, yes. And that is, we find that very helpful for a lot of genderless or androgynous people who want to either sit outside of the spectrum or just want to be a bit different. That's something that you can absolutely do. Of course, we do have scar options, yes. So, say for example, you want to seem battle war, you want to be someone who was in battle, but you don't want to actually be in battle, yes. So we can apply some scars for you, like a nice scar cross or whatever you'd like. We can also do we can simulate any kind of scarring that you'd like, whether it's stretch marks of any kind, that sort of thing in the chest area. We can totally do that for you. Okay, so those are our options for the chest, something for you to mull over. And I'll move on then to the abs. So the abs area is a bit more interesting because we have, a lot of people don't really have, everybody has abs, but a lot of people, you cannot see the abs. So if you'd like it to be seen, we can, of course, insert silicone so that you can, of course, see the abs, wherever they may be. Similar to the pecs, that would not really make you any stronger, but it will look better. And so if you want to feel, muscular, and this is really a genderless, gender affirming option, because what ends up happening is that, a lot of, female presenting or, a lot of feminine people want to seem or feel very muscular, so they might go with this option. A lot of masculine people want to feel very, very strong, and so they might go with this option without, going through the traditional methods of working out. And of course we have hips. We can bring in the hips or expand the hips, something so that if you wanted to say you're more of a stick figure and you want to try and create a bit more of the hourglass figure that is a bit more feminine, yes. Or perhaps maybe you do have an hourglass figure but you want to expand it even more. We can totally do that. We can of course shave off some of the hip, give you a more of a triangular shape within your composition. Something very simple and very easy to do, so it's really not a problem. But if you are looking more for a genderless option here, because if you want to increase the hips, that is a bit more feminine, and decreasing the hips is a bit more masculine, yes. If you want to go with something more genderless, we can of course deal with the belly button. So the belly button, we can do something similar to the nipples, which is simply paving it over with some skin, removing it completely, and what that will do is it will create a situation where it sort of, there's no the illusion of you even being birthed, as this doesn't exist anymore. You simply exist outside of the spectrum that we have going on. Okay, and do any of that interest you? And does it? Okay. I have a few more options, and don't worry. When it comes to the face next, like I said, you are a good candidate for a few of these. One would be nose augmentation. Yes, now everybody knows a rhinoplasty is very, very common, and perhaps one of the most common plastic surgery procedures. But, and I'll be honest, the nose can sometimes feel masculine or feminine for a lot of people, but I challenge, as Dr. Pimple Popper, I sometimes challenge the idea that perhaps, getting a smaller nose if you're feminine or a bigger nose if you're masculine is perhaps bordering on racism a little bit. It's just a bit strange, really. So I would say, think about your nose. Think about whether you like your nose, whether you feel comfortable within your nose, whether you feel like your nose is yours, and whether you want to change it in any capacity, right? And of course, we don't have to change it completely. If you have any problems breathing, if you have any problems, if it's crooked, or if even you feel like that it's simply too much, right? We can just reduce it a little bit, keep that character, right? The character that makes you you, but have it a bit more manageable. Yes? So that is an option. Now, when it comes to the jaw, which is the other option, this is something that we can shave down if you want to have a more petite or more slender face, or if we could expand if you want to have more of a square face, more of a masculine face, right? But just because it's masculine doesn't mean that it's necessarily like for men, right? Or for people who identify as men, or for men, really, because really. If you want a square jaw, some of the most beautiful women and beautiful, androgynous people have the squarest of jaws. It's really quite something. So, if you would like something like that, that's also an option. Now, something that a lot of people do tend to associate with masculinity and femininity is the brows and the brow ridge. If you have a very strong brow or a very forward brow, it can sometimes, it gives it a certain vibe. So if you'd like, we can tap in to a bit of that vibe. Whether you want to be a bit more masculine or a bit more feminine in terms of the brows, you can totally do that. And in terms of the hair, now, a lot of times, if you are transmasc, sometimes you end up losing your hair, and that can make you feel more within your gender. But if you haven't lost your hair, I can help you lose your hair, and of course I can give you hair if you'd like. It's a bit more of an extreme option. You can go with the wigs or toupees or whatever you would like, but this is a more permanent option that we can discuss if you want it as well. Okay. And lastly, similar to the chest region, we have scarring. So a lot of the times, people don't realize how much scarring we have on the face. So if you'd like to be battle hardened, we can apply that look to the face. We can, of course, put a scar across your eyebrow, which would create that little notch that a lot of people end up shaving in, but instead we would naturally put that in by, artificially giving you a scar, in which case you would not be able to grow eyebrow hairs in that particular region. And of course, if you want to have sort of a scar on your lip, if you'd like to have sort of acne scars, that's also an option. Acne scars can sometimes give someone a more a look that is perhaps I wouldn't say that it's particularly gendered, but it does give a particular vibe in either gender, right? And so if you'd like to have that vibe, particularly, if you'd like to feel a bit more young, because acne scars can sometimes feel very young, and very, very, cute. So if you'd like to feel a bit cute, I can give you some acne scars. That would be very, very nice, actually. I think it would complement a lot of people. So that is some of our options for the face. So keep that with you. Okay, so lastly, let us discuss the genitals. This is very simple in terms of the genitals. We have, of course, increasing, decreasing of the sausage. That is in and of itself an option. But if, say, we do not want sausage at all, we can, of course, turn it into a what's another word? I don't want to be crass, so let's just say the clam. But if you have a clam, we can of course make it bigger, we can make it smaller, or we could turn it into a sausage. So it's either or. We can totally do that, or we can even add one on top. Yeah. So say you have a clam, but you would like a sausage as well, right? So we can go ahead and add an extra one, something just for you to keep in mind so that it's a bit more inclusive if you'd like to have both. Or we could even do a Barbie Ken situation where we could remove any and all that exists within the area, smooth it over, give you, it's very Barbie, very Ken, just sort of nothing exists there. Now, one of the downsides of this is, of course, you would have to pee through a catheter. It would be on your side, but I really, if you're going for that androgynous, genderless look, and particularly if you're asexual, and maybe even aromantic, it might be the best option for you if that's what you'd like. Absolutely. Okay, so those are all the options that we have right now. So I prefer letting our patients sit upon these options, mainly because we would like it if they spoke to a lot of their friends about it so that we can get more business. So if you'd like, you can go home, think about all of it, talk to your friends, talk to your family, and then you can send us an email or we will contact you. And afterwards, what you'll end up doing is you'll set up an appointment for us to do all of the pre-workup, as well as some nice, a nice chat before we, get you undone and just go to town. Okay, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, well, if that is all, then that's all that we're going to need to do. You can go ahead and check out with the receptionist outside. And yeah, it was wonderful meeting you. Yeah, you might feel like I didn't address you specifically, right? And addressed more you and your companions that you might have. But you must understand that, if you've been in the business as long as I have, then you need to speak to everybody and not just the person in front of you. If that is all, then you can go ahead and leave the receptionist to check out and everything will be okay. All right? I look forward to hearing back from you. Okay then. Bye-bye.